motherfucking bag. Stand up the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I get the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I...
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? And right underneath me, man, we got the Trap Lord himself. You know, I really was going to say awful things about my partner this morning, but, you know, I need him in the best of spirits so we can put our minds together to figure out how to save this season, man. So without further ado, introducing Landlord from Alabama, the ligament dealer of the year, man. How you doing, Henry?
What's happening? We got to put our minds and prayers together for this week right here, so we ain't even got time to play around. So what's going on?
Now, when you say put your prayers together, that just sounds diabolical. Like God got to get involved for us to have a chance. It's crazy.
Yeah, it ain't that bad, but you know, it ain't never a bad time to pray about it. So you know how that go.
Hey, never bad. You right. It's never a bad time to pray, man. He say, I don't know, cuz rock with the show or not, man. You know, we can't be concerned about what other niggas do, but you know. Shout out to them though. Carl Main in the building said, "What it do, Trap?" Doors open early in the liquor store. Gina Chase in the building. Calvin Jefferson, my nigga Rail. Salute to everybody sliding into the liquor store in the Trap, man. This is Cowboys Convos. Thank y'all for rocking with us the way that y'all do. On the way in, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share if you care. Make sure y'all slap those super chats, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to alternate some stuff. Landlord, are you able to put your cash app in your whatchamacallit?
Not at this time. If my moms can do it for me, it'd be greatly appreciated.
All good. I got both our cash apps up underneath me. So you see, it's mine is $ Henny the Moore, and Landlord's is $ Landlord 723. So just hit the cash apps. You want to show moral support. You want to help keep the lights on. It be getting grim and dim over this motherfucker. The lights just be flickering and shit. We run the extension cords to the neighbors just to try and bring out some content. So anything that y'all seeing, whether it be $2, $3, $4, or $5 holla, it all goes to a great cause, man. Because you could feed two starving, downtrodden content creators, you know, for the price of a bag of Fugazios, man. Like real shit. All right, my boy JV B-boy in the building. Death Before Dishonor. Like y'all be having some gangsta ass name. Death Before Dishonor is just a damn good handle. My boy Israel, Red Robin, Carl Main. All right, man. So let's go ahead and talk about, you know, what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. They suck right now. Right now, they just fucking suck. Like, I don't even really know how to compartmentalize this shit. Because when you look at just raw numbers, and it's only a small sample size, it's only been a couple of games. But through raw numbers, this is probably one of the worst defenses that we've had in franchise history. So according to Bobby Belt, he said, here's where this Cowboy defense ranks in franchise history through 3 games. Passer rating allowed, worse. Completion percentage allowed, worse. Yards per play, second worst. Passing yards, third worst. Points, third worst. So this is literally one of the worst defenses the Dallas Cowboys have ever built in the history of the franchise. Like last year was bad, but last year was not historically bad to this extent. So they at least played. It's that we need to get Chime. Yeah, we might need to get a Chime.
I got PayPal. I got what else I got? Cash App, Zelle, whatever you need.
Yeah, I got Zelle, I got Cash App, I got PayPal like Lynn. I just don't have Chime. I think I had a Chime and now I no longer have a Chime, so I don't think I can get a Chime. If you catch my drift. They get real aggressive about them ligaments over there. But it's just when you think it can't get worse. Yeah, it's bad. Like, bro, this is like historically bad defense. So I don't really know what the fuck we can do to make this defense better. Cause sure, optimistically, just from an optimistic standpoint, you should get the run Bland back this week. You might get your Davion Clowney, this week. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually down the line, you might get Siobhan Revel and you'll eventually get my nigga Overshown back. But theoretically, it's like 3 or 4 players going to be the difference between, this defense being one of the worst in the league and you prospering and being a Super Bowl caliber defense. And that's really the thing. Like, I think the defense can get better, but I don't know the defense can get good enough to take us where we need to be. Because when you look around the league, it's very rare that a Super Bowl champion does not have one of the best defenses in the league at that time. Like, even when you look at the Chiefs, they have top defenses when they win championships. When you look at the Eagles, they had they had the number 1 defense last year when they won their championship. When you look at the Rams, they had one of the better defenses in the league. They had Aaron Donald. They had Jalen Ramsey. They had some real deal superstars on that defense making plays for them. At the front end, in the front 7 and in the back end. Like, even especially when you look at the Patriots, they always, I think every single time that Tom Brady won a championship, they had at least a top 10 defense in the National Football League. So, can the Dallas Cowboys, I think we're currently like the 28th ranked defense. Can they get from 28 to 10, just with the return of like a DeRon Bland, with the return of a Revel, with the acquisition of a Clowney, with the return of Overshown? And because that's going to be the real question. I think your offense can play well enough, when fully healthy to help you win games, to complement your defense. I just don't think your defense can be this bad and win a championship. What say you, Lan?
Yeah, I agree, man. It's gonna be hard to win anything, let alone the championship, if our defense playing like this. So we just gonna have to pray about that. Like, Eberflus gonna have to get better, and I seen after we just said everything is the worst. I hear people saying like his job ain't on the line or he ain't on the hot seat. Shit, I beg to differ. I don't give a damn what you're missing or what, but you can't go out there with defense like that.
Yeah, because it gets to a point where it's easier to just fire the coach than it is to replace the entire defense. I don't always agree with my cousin Wes, but he did hit the nail on the head with that. If you are a manager of a company and your department is failing, they're not going to replace the entire department. They're going to replace your ass.
Yeah, because they're going to be like, everybody can't be this bad.
Even if they are, they're going to still blame your ass. You know what I'm saying? Just come with the territory. You get paid to make up for the shit.
It's your fault that they this bad.
So, I do agree, because listen, if they get 40 ball by the Packers a week after the Packers only scored 10 points, we got to have conversations, because you just got 31 dropped on you by a team that only scored 21 the week before. You had 37 dropped on you by a team that only scored 6 points when you played the New York Giants. And then after the Giants played you, they turned around and only scored 9 against the Kansas City Chiefs. So you are making every singular, team that you play look like juggernauts, and it just ain't the case. Like you got to be able to stop somebody.
You got to be able to stop something too.
Now we talk about stopping something. Like they are one of the better run defenses in the league, but nobody gives a fuck about that right now because you're getting so many explosives on you in the air. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, you gave up under 90 yards rushing these last 2 games. To two entire teams. On paper, that sounds amazing, but when you factor in the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have given up 8 plays of 25 plus yards or more. You know what I'm saying? Who cares at that point? Who cares at that point? Also, just to compare pass rushers, because we know that Eberflus is only rushing 4. Right, that's been his thing up to this point. He's only rushing 4 people for the majority of the time, and it's not really working. For comparison's sake, this is our time to pressure. The last 4 years, and then now this is our time to pressure and all our other shit for this season. So 2024, we were 11th, 265. We weren't really a good defense then, and our time to pressure was 265. The 2 years that we were amazing, we were 1st and 3rd. Pressure rate this year, we're 15th, 34%. Time to pressure for the Dallas Cowboys is 2.8. The average play takes about 2.6. So the Dallas Cowboys are 26. No, they're 26 or 28. Yeah, they're 26 in time to pressure this year. So they're not doing too great there. Opponent time to throw is 2.9, meaning these niggas can bake a cake back there. Sack rate is only 3.8, meaning that we are one of the worst teams at getting sacks in the National Football League. And the add insult to injury, our blitz rate is only 17.9, which is still one of the lowest in the National Football League. So you can't do shit, and you're not even trying to blitz. You're not trying to blitz. You can't get home with 4. Your pressure rate is awful. Quarterback's got all day to throw, and you aren't getting sacks. So that's where we're at right now with the Dallas Cowboys' current defense. No, I'm not saying that the front 4 will fix everything, because you blow coverages, unless you sacking them boys immediately, that shit might not help you. But I know for a fact, if you move quarterbacks off their spot, you got to make them go to their 2nd and 3rd read. It makes it a little bit harder to play offense. And I don't think you've done that very well these first 3 games of the week. Of the season, I should say. The first 3 games of the season, I don't think you've done a very good job of that. So your front 4 not playing well. Your back 7, because you're dropping 7 niggas in the coverage. You're supposed to not give up explosives. So the one thing that you're not supposed to do in situations like that, you're doing. I'm not really sure what the hell you're going to do, honestly. My boy JV says Fowler has been disappointing. I mean, the entire defensive line as a whole has been disappointing. To keep it 1,000, like the pass rushers anyway. Like I can't really say that I'm disappointed in Kenny Clark. You would include him in defensive line. So I'm not just really disappointed in Kenny Clark. I'm not really disappointed in Osa. Like his raw numbers and pressure rate is pretty good. I wish it equated to some sacks and some hits and shit like that. But it is what it is up to this point. But we got to figure it out, man. Like we got to figure it out. If it's a personnel issue, we gotta get that shit resolved. If it's a scheme issue, we might have to get that shit resolved. I just want to compete, bro. Because the season ain't got to be over. But if you fall to 1-3 in an embarrassing fashion, we were laughing at the depths, of these other teams around us and going bargain shopping and shit. Looking at folks who finna throw the towel in. Nigga, we might be the one throwing the towel in if they keep playing games like this. Like, if we fall to 1-3, what we gonna do to convince Jerry Jones that we shouldn't be sellers? What Jerry Jones gonna care about trading for somebody and we 1-3? Like you're gonna damn near have to win this game, and then win against the Jets and win against, the Panthers. If you can get to 4-2, you might be able to talk some sense into Jerry Jones about making a play. If you fall to 1-3, you know what I'm saying, after how you played, these last 2 weeks, I'm not sure you can talk Jerry Jones into making a play. My boy said Kenny Clark and Osa are two of the bright spots on the D line. Salute to my boy Ledbetter, man. When he said Grand Rising, salute to you. I mean, they're gonna have to blitz more at this rate, man. They're gonna have to blitz more at this rate because as this team is currently constructed, you have tried and you have failed to rush with 4 and get pressure. You have a 3-game sample size. There's only 17 fucking games in the season. Theoretically, after you play this game Sunday night, you are a quarter through the season. You already got through the first quarter of the season, bro. And what you have done the first 4 games has not worked. You have to change. There's no other way around it. It may not be what you want. It may not fit your identity. It may, go against everything you stand for. But you have to change, your approach to generating pressures. Because at this point, if you continue to do this, you're going to keep losing games. You cannot let any quarterback at this level sit and pat the ball in the pocket, and most importantly, you can't blow coverages in the back end. So either simplify your coverages and bring more pressure. Really, it's all that you can do. Simplify your coverages and bring more pressure, man. It may not be what you want. It may not be what you feel comfortable with doing. You should feel comfortable losing. That should be the primary thing. You're losing games. The things that you want to do, you can't do. So, bro, you might as well try something different. That's all I'm saying. See, I think that we need to sit a few people. Dunno, Clark, Diggs, Steele are all candidates. Damn sure would sit Dunno, but I'm not going to sit Diggs. Because if you sit Diggs, who's going to play for Diggs? Like, at Dunno, at the safety position, at least we have hope. Because we seen Marquise Bell play well once upon a time, and we hold, Wanye in high regards. If you sit Diggs, who's going to play for Diggs? Seatbelt Carson's not back yet. Siobhan Rebel's not back yet. You're going to trust Reddy Red out there, and he hasn't really played great football either. A matter of fact, we got to talk about Elam before we talk about Diggs. When we talk about yards surrendered and blown coverages and blown assignments, Elam has actually, by the numbers, been your worst corner. I know it's easy to call out Diggs because of the whiff on 3rd down this last game, but outside of that play, it wasn't that bad. Now, does Diggs need to play better? Sure. But, I'm not benching Diggs. Like, he's still your best option at corner right now. And, I still believe the tandem of him and Bland are your best options at corner going forward. We just going to have to we're just going to have to figure something else out, and, at the other corner position. That's the way I personally see it right now. He said, hey, listen, man, baby seat is funny. Let's move along, though, man. And if y'all appreciate this early morning content, man, y'all hit that super chat, y'all hit that cash app, man. It's $ Henny the Mo. But this is one thing I do want to say. There are a lot of people that are blaming the woes and the dysfunction of this team up to this point on one Rain Dakota Prescott. When you look at adjusted EPA per play, right? If you look at adjusted EPA per play for Dak Prescott, he is him right now. Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. Has it equated to wins? No, it hasn't up to this point. But we can't sit here and play like Dak Prescott is not having a damn good season up to this point. Now, this adjusted EPA, is adjusted for pass protection, receiver drops, dropped interceptions, fumble recoveries, and interception returns, giving credit for expected yards after catch only, and accounting for defenses faced. With all those things factored in, right, Dak Prescott is number 1 in National Football League in adjusted EPA. Ahead of Lamar Jackson, ahead of Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen. Dak Prescott is number 1 in the league right now through 3 games in adjusted EPA. So what I am trying to say is get the fuck off my quarterback back real quick, man. Like, y'all gonna leave my quarterback the fuck alone, man. My quarterback is playing damn good football. He's playing damn good football right now, man. And that's with everything falling apart around him. You know what I'm saying? He already lost his starting center. He played through fourth quarter and the overtime of that Giants game without a starting center. Still, end up winning that game, right? Went and tied this game up momentarily, without CeeDee Lamb out there, with Tyler Booker playing through a high ankle sprain that's going to sideline him for a prolonged period of time. Defense giving up ass. You know what I'm saying? But, man, this shit is crazy. Shit crazy as fuck right now. But, a great offense can only cover up so many sins of a piss poor defense. If you look across the league, outside of the Houston Texans, right? The Houston Texans are the only team with a top scoring defense that has not won a game yet, right? So that's sort of damning on their offense. But when you look around the league, the Ravens have scored the most points in the National Football League, and they're 1-2 because their defense gives up a lot of ass at this point. You know what I mean? So right now, like the offense and Dak Prescott and them, I don't think they're playing bad football. It's just I don't think there's too many offenses that can overcome what this defense is doing on the other side of the field. I just don't see it happening. Also, if you like PFF and you factor in PFF along with everything else, this is just a second chart. Even if you factor in PFF and how stringent their grading scale is, Dak Prescott is still number 2 in adjusted EPA. So if you leave PFF out, he's number 1. If you add PFF in to the adjusted EPA, he's number 2. So he's still playing as one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League at this point. That's my only talking point on that before we move along to the next thing. And this is just another graph of how good your offensive line is playing. So, they've got it broken up into quarters. If you're good everywhere, you're in the left quarter. So teams that are good at both run blocking and pass blocking so far, the Lions, the Falcons, the Rams, the Bears, Dolphins, guys like that. Teams on the right, where the Dallas Cowboys are, they run blocking their asses off right now. They're opening holes. You know what I'm saying? They probably getting a high, yards per carry rate at this point. They give up pressures and hits, dog. That's a trade-off. Dallas Cowboys, the Ravens, the Eagles, they have allowed pressures and hits and sacks in the passing game. And they've been damn near unstoppable when they run the football. That's just, what the raw numbers say right now. Lower quadrant, they aren't giving up pressures, but they aren't a great run blocking team. And that right now solely belongs to look like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look like the Pittsburgh Steelers is the only one is the only ones that are having this issue. And then bad everywhere. This is the Browns offensive line. This is the damn. They say the Green Bay offensive line sucks at everything. And when did I say the Browns didn't have a good defense, Victor? Did you snort powder before you came to this motherfucker? Did you drink a cup of coffee and snort a line before you slid into this chat box? Let me know. Matter of fact, you over there on landlord's side, so you're not even worth talking to. Because I don't even get any engagement from dealing with your bitch ass. So, yeah, JV, go ahead and get Cuz out of here. We ain't got to talk to that nigga. You wrenched up, JV. Go ahead and whack Cuz. We ain't got time for dumb niggas today. Ain't nobody mentioning no weak ass Browns on no motherfucking Cowboys podcast, man. Shit your bitch ass down somewhere. Anyway, back to what we talking about. So yeah, man. So just for our comparison's sake, when you talk about what the Dallas Cowboys offensive line has done and done well, they've run blocked well. But in the passing game, you know, we've seen your offensive line get penalties at the wrong time. You know, we saw, you know, Tyler Guyton, who's much improved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not taking anything away, you know, from Tyler Guyton's development at this point. Like, he is playing better football. But on 3rd and 3 in the red zone, he had a false start that ended up costing you points because you had to settle for a field goal. You know what I'm saying? You know, on the drive right after half, you know, they gave up a sack and had to end up putting the ball back, and that would end up being the Dallas Cowboys' only, you know, possession in the third quarter because the motherfucking Bears end up having the ball for over 10 minutes after that. But Lan, you back with us?
Yeah, man, I was having some technical difficulties.
Listen, man, you know, them folks complaining about them ligaments you sold them, man. Just keep it real with the people, man, so you ain't got to duck out that much. They know that you sell ligaments, man.
You still snitching. What's Tamika? What's TA Mika on Facebook?
Man,
on Facebook, we need him because he's still telling.
Man, but did you catch any of this, or do you want me to run back through some of this stuff with you?
You might have to brief me back in.
Oh, okay. So I'll give you short summed up version. Dak Prescott really good this season. Adjusted EPA, he's number 1 in the league. If you factor in PFF with the adjusted EPA, he's number 2 in the league. Offensive line, very good at run blocking, not very good at pass blocking. That's pretty much the roundup and the sum of everything I've said since you've been gone. Dak Prescott balling, defense bad. Offensive line can run block. Offensive line can't protect Dak Prescott.
There go my security guard. Shout out to me.
Salute to Tamika in the building.
Yeah, but I mean that's pretty evident. We pretty much know that Dak is playing decent. I mean he's been playing great, really, but his last game was probably his worst. You know what I'm saying? He still played pretty good. Like he could have been better, just like everybody else, but he's still playing pretty good football. And like me and him said, like we not caping for nobody. If Dak was out here playing like some where he and say baby back BS, we'll tell y'all. He been playing ball though. Yep. So I mean, and we know the run game been playing pretty good, so we gonna have to probably feature the run game over the pass game as much as we can, especially without CeeDee Lamb, to try to keep they high power offense out the field because I think they explosive.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you because at this point, man, if you can't trust them to pass pro for Dak, and really that's when the game got a little sideways. When we had to get into passing situations, they did not always hold up, you know, in protection. Like I was telling them, you know, Tyler Guyton had a false start, 3rd and 3. You know, got to 3rd and 8. We couldn't do anything with the ball. We had to kick a field goal. You know, we got to 2nd and 5, middle of the field. Two guys came free in pass pro and met at Dak Prescott, and we had to end up putting the ball away. You know what I'm saying? It's like you run the ball and play action enough to where you don't notice it until you get to the real raw drop back passing situations. But in those drop back passing situations, I can tell Dak isn't comfortable. Like Dak, if it's a 5-man protection, I don't think Dak trusts them boys to hold up. I just don't. That's why I think he's been checking no balls down so damn quick.
I think we underrate the fact that Dak no longer has Tyron Smith. He no longer has Zach Martin. He no longer has Cooper Beebe. He no longer has Tyler Booker already. So I mean, what are they asking him to trust at this point? Like Dak is pretty much, he might be seeing demons. So I mean, I don't think he is, but I would understand if he was. Because I mean, you probably badly had confidence in what you got. Just imagine the backup. Like Dak gonna have to have that blind faith in his line this year. Like, do y'all trust Tyler Guy?
No, we still got folks trying to get rid of Tyler Guy. We damn sure got folks right now in this chat box that were talking about getting rid of Terrence Steele.
So how do you think, like Dak, he see more from them and he probably know them better as people, but do he truly trust their skill set though? I would have to say he probably don't. And like he probably trusts them to give their all or do their best, but that ain't gonna keep him off the ground. That ain't gonna keep his jersey clean. That's the difference.
Yeah, you know like they say, love don't pay the bills, and trusting a nigga ain't gonna make him play better.
And trusting him ain't gonna keep him healthy all year.
Mm-mm.
See what I'm saying? So it's just a battle that he gonna have to go through. And that's just the situation we in right now. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and to the point, and I said that without actually looking at this, but I said you don't really notice it when they use play action. Like all of that metrics with play action are better without it. So in like the raw passing situations, his numbers weren't as good this year, and that might be partially because of the offensive line. Like he could, like with play action, Dak Prescott is completing 91% of his passes. Without play action, he's completing 64%. With play action, his his yards per attempt is damn near 9. Without play action, is 5.4. Big time throw rate with play action is 14.3%. Without play action is 5.8. Passer rating with play action is 113, which is amazing. Without play action is 71.6. It's not all that great. First downs on 35% of his passes. Without it, it's 30%. But good thing for Shotty, he has raised the use of play action in this offense by 10% compared to last year. Because last year they only used play action 17% of Dak Prescott's passing attempts. This year they're using it on 27%. They might have to raise that shit up to 30 or 40 with the way this offensive line is playing. Well, just to
that says a lot that you using play action that much and they still struggling to pass block.
Yeah, it's just when they get to the regular, drop back situations. Like you don't really use play action on too many drills. When you're behind, you don't use play action because niggas don't buy that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you get behind and they got to get to a true drop back passing situation in a 3, 5, 7 step drop. The results aren't as good. You know what I'm saying? And that's something you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to play with a lead or play even. And to my boy's point, he said we need to do more ball control. You already are winning time of possession. That's not really the issue with the Dallas Cowboys. Like the Dallas Cowboys have been winning. Hold that thought. Dallas Cowboys have been winning time of possession, for the last two games real quick. You know what I'm saying? They won time of possession this last game that they played by almost 6 minutes, and then they won time of possession against the Giants. So the Dallas Cowboys are holding on to the ball longer than the other team. What they're not doing is playing with the lead. Like they're allowing so many explosive, it has not mattered that they control the ball. You know what I mean? It just hasn't mattered that they had the ball longer than other people. If you give up one
Facts.
play touchdown, that shit don't matter.
If you giving it up in seconds, it don't matter how long you had the ball. And then you got to be scoring touchdowns too.
Mm-hmm. Cause yeah, that's the thing. Cause me and landlord had this conversation offline. Like the Dallas Cowboys had 5 possessions in the first half. They scored points on 3 of them, and we still went into the half down 10 points because we settled for field goals on 2 of them. One of them you might could have went for it, but you had to end up settling for field goals on 2 of them. And you fumbled. Like nobody thought Javonte Williams on a explosive run was going to give the ball away. You know what I'm saying? And then that last possession you had, you went onto the field with really no time. So
That
it's
drive
it's
might have would have
rough.
changed the whole game too.
Hmm. Like
Cause
that's.
like I don't think people understand what how being down affects most play callers.
Hmm.
Like when you down, that takes you out of your game plan. And like I said, some coaches have a real sense of urgency after that, and now they just throwing the ball and they become one dimensional. But the thing about it is, this pretty much is a little smoke for Shotty, sir. You said you was gonna be a running team. You said we run. So in one of the first signs of we was getting beat, why you start running the ball so quick? Javonte Williams only had 10 rushes. So like I ain't trying to act like, because Mike McCarthy stopped running. But he ain't never said he was a running coach or a running team. Mike just told you, I'm going to get you your rushes. Like, that's how he said. We going to run the ball this many times, man. That's what Mike said. Shotty said, we going to live and die by the run. And that's just, to me, when I think of that, if y'all remember when CMC first got to the San Francisco and the Ravens team, it don't matter if you want 14 on them, they still gonna run the ball. Unless it's just the time is just impossible. If it's early in the game or whatever, or it's halftime, them boys still gonna run themselves back into the game. They don't care. They still gonna run the ball. And then especially when you get an explosive run, you was averaging 7 yards a carry. You might have would have been able to run yourself back into that game. But that's just Shotty being a young head coach. He has warts right now. And that's not unexpected. That's not a shot at him. It's just the truth. He has warts right now. He has things that he gonna have to get better at and things that he gonna have to execute better. That it is what it is, but it ain't the worst. He's still doing pretty good, but he still got his flaws at the same time.
I think how the game flow went is why the run game disappeared, because this is what happened. Because they were still running the ball when they tied the game up at 14. Defense allowed them to drive the length of the field, and kick a field goal. Right? Then we got the ball back. We ran the ball with Javonte Williams for a 2-yard gain. We threw it out to what's our boy name that came to the show?
So
Yeah, we threw it out to Tolbert, and then Dak threw a check down to Jake Ferguson, and they got the ball back. Then they went down that bitch and scored a touchdown, drained the clock out, and we only could throw when we got the ball the second time. When we went on there for then the game was over because they couldn't get out of bounds, all that other stupid shit. What I'm saying. That would happen on the our last two possessions afterwards. So we ran once, threw twice, punted the ball away, got the ball back with like 30 something seconds left or some bullshit with no timeouts.
You gotta throw an answer, bro.
Yeah. Then when you got back on the field, you did have some rushing attempts, but you got the 2nd and 5 at midfield, and then you gave up a sack for like 11 yards, and you had to go, and then you had to punt the ball away after that. We didn't get the ball back again until 5 seconds left in the third quarter, and we were down 17 at that point.
Well, yeah, now that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I think
maybe when you
up.
was in the red zone, you probably needed to run a couple of times.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
like that in that fourth quarter,
now,
we got down to the red zone.
You ran yourself back into the game if it went like that. That's understandable. But in some of those attempts, like when Dak threw that interception, you probably could have ran the ball a couple times.
Yeah, because you need the points at that point. It don't really matter. You done got to the red zone. How you get inside after you get down there is inconsequential. You could have ran the ball 4 times and I would have been fine with this shit. The same way you threw the ball 4 times and you didn't get it, I would have been fine with you running it 4 times and seeing if you got it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because you need points at that point. I don't care if you gotta run it in. So you right. The 4 straight passing attempts in the red zone, definitely questionable. That's damn sure questionable. But in terms of running in between the 20s, like it just went weird. I think they wanted to stick with it, for Javonte because he was doing great. I just think shit goes sideways, man.
You just explained why, and it makes perfect sense. See, that's why you gotta go back to the play-by-play sometimes to understand this shit. Because it really didn't make sense if you're looking at it from a general standpoint. It don't make a lot of sense. Like, why Javonte Williams was running so well, but he only got 10 attempts? Well, he just told you why. And because by the time we got a real opportunity to run the ball again, we was down 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then you only had 1 quarter of football left.
Real shit.
So now you got to calculate. They just had the ball for the whole damn third quarter. So how many possessions are you going to really have if you come out running the ball, even down 17 with a whole quarter left? It makes a lot of sense, bro. It do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I understand, Sean.
Because on the Bears,
but you could have still ran the ball.
Definitely could have ran the ball in the red zone. But yeah, on the Bears, 1 sole possession in the third quarter, they had the ball over 10 minutes. There's only 15 minutes in the fucking quarter. You had the ball already, to start the third quarter, and your drive took about 4 of them bitches. So when you got the ball back, after they scored a touchdown, there were literally like 15 seconds left in the quarter.
So contrary to popular belief, your defense still really lost you this game.
Yeah, because they couldn't get a stop.
If you can't get the ball back, if you can't get a stop, and you just let them have the ball the whole game, your offense don't have a chance. And that's the worst way for an offense to get in rhythm, too. If they don't have the ball, it's going to be hard when they get it.
And landlord, do you know what's even more damning about that? They went for it. On fourth and goal. You theoretically could have been sorry and made 1 play, and that shit wouldn't have mattered. It would have still been a 10-point game with the ball in your hand, at the end of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter to work with. You gave up a touchdown on 4th and goal.
Oh.
Also, to what RJ Ochoa said about this pass rush, the Cowboys have utilized a 4-man front at the highest rate in the NFL so far this year, at 86%. The Cowboys have had 4 rushers on 79.2% of opponent dropbacks, which is the 3rd highest rate in the NFL. In spite of this, the Cowboys have a pressure rate of just 28.6 on four-man rushes, which is 10th worst in the National Football League. So them niggas suck.
What brother Ocho is saying, Archo is saying that make it make sense, Shotty. Make it make sense, Eberflus. Like it makes no sense. Like, how is the Dallas Cowboys the team that's rushing for the most? Like we got four gangsters up there. See, this is the stuff that I'm saying is gonna get Eberflus fired, bro. And to be fair, I think this Clowney addition is finna be his last attempt at that. After that, he gonna just be like, "Hey man, send the kitchen sink." He gonna be in desperation. If Clowney don't actually make a big difference, he gonna just start sending the kitchen sink, or he just gonna be ready for his doom. He just gonna be ready for his demise. He gonna be like the dude on death row. Like he know his time coming.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Eberflus finna have a podcast, man. He ain't finna be coaching too much longer.
We might need to bring him on the show.
Listen, once they fire Eberflus, we can bring him on the show. We can ask him what the fuck he was thinking. You know what I'm saying? He need to get a mic, get in these streets with this restream and bring his ass on this podcast. Because at that point, it's over with for that man. But man, for real, you can only do something so long, see that it's failing, and it not be insanity. You know what I'm saying? Like that is like the definition of insanity, to try the same thing over and over and expect a different result.
Exactly. And like I know people doing that woe is me. Oh, he don't have Micah no more. I understand that. So since he don't got Micah no more, he don't got a job to do.
He still got a job. I know that it's going to be a harder job, but nigga, when they've traded Micah and you still had your ass here and you didn't resign, you stayed with the shit. So
I'm about to say you should have walked out there behind his ass. Then if he was your whole defense, you should have just walked straight out. Hey, I can't do it without him. I'm sorry, bye.
That's what you should have told him. You should have came to them like a man, said, "Hey man, this ain't what I signed up for. I had better opportunities. Elsewhere. If I knew this, I wouldn't have came. Y'all niggas got it. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace." That would.
And then thanks. And what's so crazy, he hiring all his homeboys, and y'all unit is the worst in Cowboys history after 3 weeks. Like, man, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care who here and who ain't here. So okay, you mean to tell me if we still had Micah and that boy got hurt, then what you gonna say? Oh, now we just to be the worst team in history. Like, it's cool now because we hurt. Nah, hell no. Y'all still wouldn't accept that.
Nah, we wouldn't have accepted it, at all. Well, some people would have, like some people love giving it, like, and that's the thing. Like the NFL literally stands, and it doesn't literally stand for this, but it stands for not for long. Like niggas get hurt every year. Dak Prescott has been hurt. CeeDee Lamb has been hurt. Micah himself got hurt last year. You know what I'm saying? And y'all still complain about the product that was on the field. You know what I'm saying? So, do you care about winning? Do you care about competing? If you can only coach with great talent, can you really coach, nigga?
Bro, I'm just saying this right now, and I can put this on record. If Eberflus, now I know Green Bay talent, but if Eberflus give up 40 points again this week, get his ass up out of here. But let me give you a little optimism though, just a tad bit.
All right, let's do it.
Just a tad bit. Reason to be a little optimistic is the last time you seen DeRon Bland in his secondary, they locked up A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith some kind of way. Now, I know a lot of that is attributed to Jalen Hurts being fiery as hell, but
It still happened though. You can't tell me it didn't
Hmm.
happen.
It damn sure happened. It happened. So you right. We can't be mad at that. That shit did occur. You know what I'm saying? And let's go even further. Green Bay has not done a good job, of defending tight ends, and Jake Ferguson is the tight end with the most targets. You know what I'm saying? So it's an opportunity for Schroemerge to not be a hoe ass nigga all his life. Because if you is a grown ass man and your only insult is cowgirls, you have failed. Your father has failed you in the art of shit talk. Your mother has failed. Your mother has failed you in raising a gentleman. So I don't know, man. That shit weak as a hoe.
We got a real life pillow biter
Pillow
in
body
the
is
chat.
crazy.
That's crazy. We got a real life pillow biter. Zest Monster pillow biter in the chat. That's
Let's
crazy.
see. He is high on his own supply. It's like his name implied that he sells shrooms, but the way he types implied that he eats the motherfuckers. Cause this nigga seeing kaleidoscope colors and shit right now, typing this bullshit in my chat box. He said everyone double tap the screen and like the video, of course. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and hit that share if you care. But yeah, getting called a pillow biter and not saying shit back immediately, says a lot about you too. A nigga ain't gonna call me no pillow biter. I just wouldn't go for it. I don't know how you was raised, but I wouldn't be called no pillow biter. Uh,
We might don't know what it means, man. But hey, if you know, you know. That's all I
so
say.
yeah,
A yellow belly Zest Monster pillow biter. You know?
so let's see. He said Michael's revenge game against Dallas isn't going to be easy. He added that Dak is his guy, has always been like a good mentor for him, and he doesn't really look forward to second Dak Prescott. He said it'll be when he said it's going to be painful. He was talking about for him personally. He don't want to hit that.
What he gotta realize is it ain't no guarantee you gonna get one, Micah. Micah, it ain't no guarantee you gonna get one on four. So what you talking about? might be in the playoffs. Let's see.
There's no guarantee.
I don't know what he. I don't know why he just automatically assuming like he just gonna sack phone like that. But we'll
Man, that
see.
nigga woke up and looked at the roster and said, Terrence still there? Oh, shit. All right. What that nigga said.
Hey, we gonna chip the fuck out of
Gonna chip
Michael.
Michael Nance.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you. The game plan. We might lose because of this, but Michael probably. They gonna probably make it they destiny in life to make sure that Michael don't beat us. Like Gary, he probably gonna destroy us. But Michael, he ain't finna do
Hell
that.
nah. Like, nigga, I'm doing everything I can, nigga. I'm pulling guards to Michael Parsons' side, nigga. I'm chipping with tight ends. I'm hitting niggas with a tight end and a running back. I'm doing everything humanly possible to fuck Michael Parsons over. Listen, my quarterback ain't finna fight no goddamn line. Your name the line. My quarterback ain't finna fight no damn line tonight, nigga.
Man, we finna chip the hell out of
Yep.
that boy.
Chip him.
I'm sending Revis fan for it. I'm sending school. Hey, and if you try to rush from the middle, we'll have a couple people in there waiting on you too. Have a running back waiting on you too. Like it's ways you can scheme this up. And then guess what? The best way to do it, because I just seen y'all give up 95 yards to my boy Justin. Run that mother. You talk about sacks, we finna be running at you, buddy. What you gonna do in that run game? That's what we gonna see. See, I know this might sound strange to some people, but this is what a competitor sounds like. Am I saying that Mike is not a beast and he's not gonna be effective in this game? No. But what I am saying is, nigga, it ain't gonna be that goddamn easy. And don't just be assuming that you just gonna do shit. Cause we got players over here too, nigga. You crazy? Like I don't care. Screw that. I got a whole game plan. I got a whole week of game plan for you. Now that's on Shotty. If he set up here and let Michael wreck this game, that's on him.
Yep. I agree with you. Now, if they do all that shit, and he still get home. Like you just say, "Hey, man, we'll meet you. We'll meet your ass at the 50 and shake your hand." But I'm throwing the kitchen sink at this nigga.
I'm telling you straight up, bro. It's so many ways you can neutralize Michael Parsons. Like, unless he just beating these boys clean off the line. But if you running at them, you play action in the other way. You know what I'm saying? If you chipping them, like you heard Shotty said, we gonna hit him. I like the that shit. Shotty said, we gonna hit him. He said, we gonna hit Michael Parsons. Oh, God. Did you hear that in the interview?
Joe said 40.
He said
40 Cowboys, Green Bay 28. It might take that kind of score to beat the Packers, honestly, though. Because I don't trust our defense against anybody.
Man, our defense need to just have a crazy fluke bounce back game so we can at least have some hope in these niggas. Like, we ain't even got no hope in them no more.
It's crazy.
They took all our joy and glee away.
The
That's
second
crazy.
half of the Eagles game seemed like a century ago. Cause that's when I felt decent about this defense. And then, the Giants game happened. And then folks were like, it might be a one-off. Then the Bears game happened. And they showed that they were hoes.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. I'm a true believer, like, when Shotty say certain shit, I know he honestly believes certain stuff too, though. So when he said, like, sometimes the game just be like that, like, it's true. Sometimes they do. Like, sometimes it's just gonna be a shootout today, sir. Like, both offensive coaches had a great game plan, and they executing the hell out of it. And I don't even care how good the defense is. They finna give us some points today. It happens. It just happens. Or just like me and him talked about offline, that's something that nobody really brings up that I hear, is calling plays at the right time. It ain't all about what you play, what you call. Sometimes you calling the right thing at the right time. Have y'all seen, I done seen plenty of Chiefs games where these motherfuckers ain't doing nothing but throwing screen passes or swing passes to the running back. And that shit, they gaining 37 yards and shit. Like, they doing the most regular stuff. We done seen games like that on us. Teams ain't doing nothing but throwing swing passes to the running back, and it's going for 30, 40 yards. Why is that? Because the coach called it at the right time. He's seen the right formation. He's seen the right defense. He did good scouting. He knew exactly what your tendencies was in this situation, and he called a perfect play to shred that shit. The timing of the plays count too. I don't hear a lot of people saying that. You can have a great play. Think about it. You can have a great bootleg play that's a one-play touchdown. But if you do the bootleg to the side that they blitzing on, that shit is not finna work. That was a bad time to do it. The timing of when you call these beautiful ass plays, it matters. And you don't hear a lot of people talk about that. Now, everybody thinks that designing plays and motioning and all that shit what makes a great OC. But to me, I feel like a big part of that is knowing when and when not to call certain plays. If you on the goal line, maybe you shouldn't be running a damn reverse right now.
Unless it works.
But it's still, that's not an ideal play call right now. Because you trying to go forward. You trying to go forward, you got a big risk of losing 5, 6 yards trying to do a reverse. It's just not, it's probably not worth the risk. When all you can do, especially if it don't score, because guess what? You could have got them 5, 6 yards just doing a normal rush.
Yeah, I said that because we got hit with a reverse in the red zone.
I'm just saying, it works sometimes. That's another thing with play calling. It's genius when it works. You a fool when it don't work. But I'm just saying, in general, that's probably not the best situation to run that. Unless you got a dynamic player that's just good at it, I guess. But if I'm not mistaken, your main objective is to go forward.
He said multiple plays in the huddle is key. They always have multiple plays in the huddle. You know, that's why Dak don't carry no wristband. Like that nigga just checking to what he feel gonna work. That is one thing that concerns me. CD Lamb's gonna be out of this game. Trayvon Diggs did not practice yesterday. So I don't want to get Bland back and not have Diggs. It seems like they never play together. They're gonna be my biggest concern is we would think that we're getting healthy at corner, and if we come out this bitch and don't have Trayvon Diggs, I feel completely different about this matchup. But we have Diggs and Bland, and we can do some different rotations at the other cornerback spot. I feel a little bit better. Like I do, honestly. I feel a little bit better. All right, last talking point before I take my ass to work. Dak Prescott, 4th in the National Football League in passing yards. My nigga done threw for 800 yards already in 3 games. We are 1-2. Dallas Cowboys have the number 1 success rate in rushing. We are 1-2. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, what is the standard for the offense? Like, how well does the offense have to play to overcome this defense? Like, it's down there at this point that they got to score every possession. So what is the standard for this offense, moving forward to overcome the defense? Because they playing good football as a whole right now. It's just not equating to wins. That's my last question before we get out of here.
I mean, to me, it sounds like you just broke the code to the fact that, because a lot of people ask, is it the offense or is it the defense? A lot of people ask, is it the offense or is it the defense? And it looks like it's obviously that it's the defense. Because one side of the ball is doing great in the statistics, and the other side of the ball is doing god awful in the statistics. So, I mean, that's not that hard, you know what I'm saying? If you think about it. So, I mean, to answer your question though, the offense gonna have to be lethal, bro. And we probably gonna need Sedarian with us to get it done. But if not, I say this. I don't have a number to give you, but I will say this. The Dallas Cowboys need to make sure they maximize every opportunity they get to score. And they need to score 7. Because guess what? Your defense probably going to give up 7. So you need to be having that in mind. And like I told him, we need to actually, we probably need to be considering being more aggressive on 4th down. Because guess what? If you keep giving them the ball, you pretty much conceding points at this point.
Dan sure agree. He said
you pretty much giving them 7 because you know your defense can't stop a nosebleed. So what are you really doing? You pretty much giving away points and letting the game get away from you. So, in my opinion, I would be way more aggressive, and I would factor that into me when I'm thinking about going for it on 4th down.
Yep, 4th and 2, I'm going. No, 4th and 2, I'm going from now on out. But I appreciate everybody for taking time out their morning to slide in and show some love, man. On the way out, y'all make sure y'all hit that Cash App. Y'all make sure y'all hit that Super Chat. Y'all make sure y'all hit those memberships because we got exclusive content on there. And make sure that y'all spin the block, for Boss Land tonight, man. We're going to tap in and give y'all some great Dallas Cowboys content. You got any final words, Land?
That's it for me, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in for
Yes,
the win.
indeed. In the words of West Coast Cowboy, man, never look down because the star is up. Yeah, might well drop Blue. I got Blue too, man, and the boy ain't gonna get off the bench. So go ahead and drop him, get somebody else.
They can't
They can't
stand
stand
Blue
his
ass.
ass, man. But all right, we out.